everyone, welcome back to my channel. I mentioned on Instagram a couple of weeks ago that I would do a video on why I have not evented in such a long time. For that matter, why I have not jumped in such a long time. I'm not sure how well it's going to go, to be honest. I thought I had more videos and photos of the original accident, which I will explain shortly, but turns out I don't. So I've been stalking my own Facebook and gone back through all the years. So basically what happened was in 2015, hair's stuck. I had the opportunity to borrow, what is my hair doing? Let me tie it up, that's annoying. Yeah. So I had the opportunity in 2015 to borrow a lovely Highland pony mare called Curry Park Bramble, big black mare, and she was lovely. I don't have a hair lucky, honestly. She was lovely, and I competed her that year. I did a couple of dressage events on her and took her to a couple of lessons, did little bit of show jumping and all the rest of it. And then I took her to like a mini Hickstead event. So over here, that is where you start your show jumping, and then you actually leave and go out on cross country and just go through the finish flags and you're done. So I did one of those on her, and she had a few green moments, but I did a really good job. So I was really impressed. So I entered her into a horse event at Capel Horse and Pony Club, which is quite a large event down here in the southwest, and she was a little bit nervous over the weekend. She did a really nice dressage test. The show jumps were all maximum height and they were really spooky, and I thought, you know what, she's done 60 centimeters before, but not to this extent. And I took her over the fences and she tried really hard. I hope I've got a show jumping photo. If I do, I'll put it in now. She tried really hard, and I think she got a couple of rails, but she, you know, she was a green baby really, and she tried her heart out. Warming up to go cross country, there'd been a couple of falls, and I made the stupid joke to my friend's partner that I would be needing the ambulance. Now, I shouldn't have done it because I cursed myself. And she was warming up, but we had two horses actually come back through the cross country warm up without their riders, and she just started getting a bit antsy and anxious. And I remember walking out to the start box with this really bad vibe and real bad gut feeling that we just shouldn't go cross country. And I said to myself, right, we'll clear fence 1. If we get to fence 2, let's just go around the course. So we left the start box, and she was great. She stood quietly, counted down from 10, got to go, sat back, launched off, canter, beautiful. Approached our first fence, which was sort of running like sideways to the show jumping. So she was kind of like just heading away from all the other horses, but the show jumping was still right there, and she got sticky. I was just a really simple inviting roll top, propped and went to stop. Thought, you're not reversing? You're not refusing fence 1, no way. Put my legs on, gave her a big growl, and she launched over this fence. I think I've got photos. She launched over this fence, and I became unseated. She landed, and I ended up on her neck. And I remember pushing myself back into the saddle and saying, nailed it, still alive, still on, let's go. And I remember cantering away and giving her a big pat, and she just had this real anxious, bubbly energy that was, she either felt like she was going to grab the bit and bolt back, or she was just going to stop and refuse to move. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to get up, get some big energy going, get a nice big canter, and we'll head out to fence 2, because it was like a gallop away. Head out to fence 2, clear fence 2, and then we'll just trot the rest of the course nice and quietly. We got about halfway between fence 1 and fence 2, and the grass at that side of Capel cross country grounds is what they call onion grass, and it's really slippery, and it had been mowed so that the horses could see their tracks, but it was lethal, and she just slipped over. She wasn't doing anything wrong, she didn't misstep, there wasn't a fence involved, she just slipped. And I remember thinking as she went down, because she had her head out, you are going to break your neck and die. So I basically grabbed my reins and I rolled them into her neck so that she tucked her head under, because I thought, at least if she rolls then she's going to go over herself and not like have a fall where her neck goes out and she snaps her neck. I thought, no way. You're not even mine and I love you to pieces. That's not happening. So as I had both my hands on her neck rolling, she was going down so fast and I thought, I need to bail. I can't stay on this or she's going to roll on me and kill me. So I went off over her right shoulder and I remember saying to her as I went down, well, Bramble, didn't nail it that time. However, my hands were still locked into her neck so she didn't break it. And I hit the ground face first. Now, I was thankfully being watched by, obviously there were people out on course, but I was in the middle of 2 jumps, so I had no one there immediately. If you fall off at the fence, you've at least got a jump judge, right? And I had no one. So my dad and my partner had come up to watch the cross country, and they'd watched me set off, and then they were going to go over to the water fence to go and watch there, because I was like, it's always good photos of the water fence. And Taylor, my partner, had put his phone in his pocket after recording fence 1, seen that I got away safely, went to turn, walked off, said something to my dad, who he thought was following him, looked back, and Dad is running towards me. And Taylor was going, oh, and he's on the floor. So he ran out. So thankfully, the ambulance, because it was so close to the start, had also seen, and they started driving out. So I was unconscious for about 7 to 10 minutes. It was a long time. And Bramble's bridle had come off, and Bramble didn't want any of the ambulance officers to get too close to me. So poor Taylor had to try and hold Bramble. My best friend's partner, who I told I needed the ambulance to, he ran out, came and grabbed the pony, put the bridle back on, walked her in. Thank goodness for them, I will have to say. Chrissy and Ben, you rule, and Taylor, because they basically looked after my pony. Chrissy then had to go cross country after me, but got back, untacked the pony, washed her off, packed everything up and sent Taylor on his way. However, I was unconscious for a while. When I came to, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't move. I remember the ambulance officer saying to me, do you know what day it is? And I was like, I'm on cross country, so it's Sunday. And I remember her saying to me, do you know how many fences you finished? And I worked backwards from the finish flags. Didn't go through the finish flags. Bugger. Did I go through the water fence? No, I didn't. Did I go down the bank? Oh my God, I didn't even make it to the bank. Did I do the hay jump? Oh no, I didn't even do the hay jump. Did I make it out the back? Oh, I didn't even make it out. Oh my God. And I worked back and I went, have I only cleared fence 1? And they thought, wow, that's pretty good. Like, you've hit your head pretty hard and you know where you are. It took me about 20 minutes to get that answer, but I got it. Anyway, they bundled me up into the ambulance, took me up to the club rooms. And thankfully there was a doctor on course because his daughter was riding, and he came out to assess me and basically said, yep, you need to go to emergency. And I said, well, if I go by ambulance, they have to wait and they have to hold the entire cross-country course up until another ambulance comes to take me. And that cross-country course had already been held up with the other previous falls in the day. So I said, can my mum take me? And he said, sure. So they patched me up as best they could, put me in my mum's car. Mum drove me to emergency and I wasn't triaged. They expected me and then I just went straight through. And basically what had happened, I know all of your questions would be concerned. What had happened is I had degloved my lower jaw. So all the skin on my lower jaw had come off the bone. So if you put your tongue like down between your bottom lip and your teeth, it goes, quite far down, right? Well, mine doesn't anymore, but originally at the time of the accident, I could put my tongue basically down to the bottom here because that was all off. I fractured my jawbone, my cheekbone, my eye socket, and something else. And I'd split the my lip. My lip was actually split like the Joker. So that was fun. And so they patched me up at that hospital. Called Perth and basically said she needs to come up there for emergency surgery. Stayed the night in that hospital. The next morning, Taylor drove me up to Perth, Royal Perth Hospital, and I actually had to wait 2 days. And then I had emergency surgery on my face to repair it. So technically, I've had plastic surgery. Wouldn't recommend. 10 out of 10. Do not recommend. 10 out of 10? 1 out of 10. Don't have the accident that I had. So when I went into theatre, I actually remember the surgeon saying to me, I'm really excited for this surgery. And I thought, yeah, awesome, that's amazing. A surgeon that's excited for the surgery, that's great. That means that he's going to really enjoy his job, and he's going to do a great job on my face. And then he said to me, yeah, most people with your injury just go straight to the morgue. And that was the last thing I remember, and I was out unconscious. So that was fun. So he fixed me up. So now if I put my tongue between my lower lip and my teeth, it doesn't go very far because they had to stitch the skin so tight because that's cut so much infected tissue out. That was nice. I don't have any gory photos. I really wish I did, but Taylor didn't take any, and neither did Dad, which I was a bit devastated about. So I was at home. So the accident happened on Wednesday. The accident happened on Sunday, cross country day, and I was released Wednesday evening. Couldn't eat anything. I had to have all my foods blended and actually put through a horse syringe into my mouth. Couldn't drink with a straw, couldn't sip. It was a nightmare. Honestly, I was in and out of hospital from Wednesday through to I think probably about the following Monday, just with infection and pain control and all the rest of it. I did, however, ride on Friday after I got out of hospital. Don't tell my surgeon. Just because I knew that I needed to get on ASAP, because I'm actually quite a nervous rider, and I knew that the longer I waited, the longer I would just never get back on. So I got Rani out and I got Mum out. I said, right, Mum, I'm just going to hop on. I just want to go for a walk. I just want a couple of photos. And I remember standing on the mounting block going, I can't get on. I can't get on. I can't get on. It's too scary. I'm terrified. I don't want to get on. And then I thought, you know what? Once you've swung your leg over, you're going to feel fine. So I did. I just swung my leg over and I was fine. And I walked off and I did a couple of laps and said to my mum, can you just get the phone out, take a photo? While she was doing that, I picked up Trot and had a little trot around, which Mum wasn't very impressed about. However, it has left me with a lot of almost PTSD with going on cross country. So I no longer have Bramble. She went back to her lovely owner Claire, and has since had a baby. Very exciting. I'll put a photo in because everybody likes a foal photo. The idea of going out on cross country, having to jump fences in canter and being out there by myself is terrifying. And basically that's why I started this YouTube channel, so that I will convince myself to go, because I have a reason and a motivation other than wanting to do it, because I'll film it all for you guys. So all of that to say, yeah, I damaged my face one time on cross country and I haven't gone since. I have done a Hickstead event since then, on Winnie, and she was very good, but she also isn't really a jumper, so she just stepped over them. And I remember going out on cross country and I jumped that first log out of the show jumping arena and I just froze. I completely froze. I didn't ride at all. I just pointed her at each fence, knowing that she was well behaved enough that she wasn't going to refuse. And I remember there's a bank up and down, ditches and drops, my two biggest fears. And I remember sitting at the top of this bank thinking, I'm going to die. She's going to fall off this top of this bank and I'm going to die. So I just put my leg on and just slipped my reins, and the pony took me around the rest of the course. Thank goodness. So that's basically it. There's not really much more to say. If anyone has any questions, ask them below. Ask them on my Instagram, whatever, however you want to ask them. I will have included as many photos as I have. Sorry, this is a really long, boring vlog of me just standing here talking, but I thought it makes sense. It will set it up to make sense for the rest of the vlogs. If I get to a cross-country day and go, I can't do it, this is terrifying, then you guys will understand why. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit that bell. Also, just realised I filmed this whole thing, right? Thought I was in a really pretty... You can see the fire tank. If I'd realised that the fire tank was going to be in it, I'd have turned the camera more like this way. Didn't think about it. Sorry. Anyway, see you later.